Welcome to Tabo Eminent Channel. The Mary Celeste is one of the most enduring maritime mysteries in history. Here's a detailed look at what made it so intriguing. In early November 1872, the Mary Celeste, a sturdy American merchant brigantine, left New York harbor bound for Genoa, Italy. Thanks for watching. Request you to subscribe the channel. On board were Captain Benjamin Briggs, his wife Sarah, their 2-year-old daughter Sophia, and a crew of 7 experienced seamen. The ship was loaded with over 1,700 barrels of industrial alcohol, and everything seemed in perfect order. Captain Briggs, a devout and meticulous man, was known for his competence and calm demeanor. He wrote in his journal before sailing that both the ship and crew were in good shape and spirits. 3 weeks into the journey, on December 5, 1872, a British vessel named the Dei Gratia spotted the Mary Celeste drifting eerily in the open Atlantic Ocean, about 400 miles east of the Azores. As the sailors approached, they noticed the ship wasn't flying distress signals, yet something was clearly wrong. A boarding party soon confirmed their fears. The Mary Celeste was completely deserted. The lifeboat was missing, and the sails were partially set but in disarray. Below deck, the crew's belongings remained undisturbed, food and water supplies were ample, and there was no sign of fire or violence. Oddly, 9 barrels of alcohol were found empty, but the rest of the cargo was untouched. The last entry in the ship's log was dated November 25, giving no indication of trouble. Whatever had happened seemed to occur suddenly and without time to record it. The question that haunted investigators and sailors alike was simple: why would a captain with his wife and child abandon a perfectly seaworthy ship in the middle of the ocean? It made no sense. Speculation ran wild. Some theorized that alcohol fumes from the cargo might have leaked and led the captain to fear an explosion, prompting an emergency evacuation. Others suggested a waterspout or undersea quake may have caused panic. A few imagined a mutiny, though there was no sign of violence. The most colorful theories included pirates, sea monsters, and even alien abduction, all lacking evidence but capturing the public imagination. An inquiry was held in Gibraltar, but no conclusive findings ever emerged. Suspicion lingered, especially since the salvors received less compensation than usual, as authorities could not rule out foul play. Though the Mary Celeste herself would go on sailing for years under different owners, her name was forever linked to one of the greatest maritime puzzles of all time. The fate of her crew, especially that of Captain Briggs and his family, remains unsolved. To this day, the story of the Mary Celeste continues to captivate historians, sailors, and mystery lovers around the world, a ghost ship adrift in both fact and legend. In the crisp autumn of 1872, the brigantine Mary Celeste prepared to set sail from New York City. She was a sturdy vessel, built 11 years earlier and now owned in part by Captain Benjamin Briggs, a well-respected sailor known for his calm judgment and deep faith. Unlike many captains of the time, Briggs chose to bring his family along on this voyage, his wife Sarah and their young daughter Sophia. With a crew of 7 seasoned men and a hold filled with 1,701 barrels of denatured alcohol, the Mary Celeste seemed ready for a routine transatlantic journey to Genoa, Italy. The voyage began smoothly on November 7, sailing into open seas with favorable weather. Captain Briggs kept a detailed log, recording nothing out of the ordinary. He noted the crew was in good spirits, the ship steady, and the winds fair. It should have been an uneventful crossing. But then, without warning, the Mary Celeste slipped silently into mystery. On December 5, 1872, the Dei Gratia, a British cargo ship, spotted a vessel adrift some 400 miles east of the Azores. The ship appeared to be moving erratically, her sails partially set but flapping loose in the breeze. As the crew of the Dei Gratia approached, they saw no one on deck, no signs of life. A boarding party was dispatched, expecting either disaster or distress. What they found was chilling: the Mary Celeste was completely deserted. Below deck, everything seemed strangely untouched. There was no sign of struggle, no blood, no fire. Personal items, including the captain's log, clothes, and even a child's toys, remained where they should be. The galley was stocked with 6 months' worth of food and fresh water. But the lifeboat was missing, and the ship's only clock had stopped. The logbook's final entry, dated November 25, mentioned nothing unusual, just routine observations near the Azores. Something had happened in those silent 10 days. But what? An investigation was launched in Gibraltar, and rumors spread quickly. Some believed the crew had fallen victim to pirates, but nothing was stolen, the ship's cargo and valuables remained intact. Others suggested mutiny, though again, no evidence of violence could be found. A popular theory involved the alcohol cargo. It was volatile, and 9 barrels were found empty. Some speculated fumes may have caused a panic or explosion scare, prompting Briggs to order everyone into the lifeboat temporarily. But if so, why did they never return? Other ideas were even stranger. A sudden waterspout, a tornado of water, might have drenched the ship and startled the crew. Perhaps they thought she was sinking and fled in haste. Still others whispered of ghosts, sea monsters, or curses, and in the decades to come, the Mary Celeste would be drawn into stories of the supernatural and the unexplained. Despite thorough inquiries, no definitive answer ever emerged. The crew of the Dei Gracia was awarded only a fraction of the salvage reward, as suspicions lingered about their possible involvement, though no evidence ever supported foul play. The Mary Celeste herself was eventually sold and continued to sail under different owners, but she never outlived her reputation as a ghost ship. Legacy and commemorations. Mary Celeste was not the first reported case of a ship being found strangely deserted on the high seas. Rupert Gould, a naval officer and investigator of maritime mysteries, lists other such occurrences between 1840 and 1855. 130L. Whatever the truth of these stories, it is the Mary Celeste that is remembered. The ship's name, or the misspelled Marie Celeste, has become fixed in people's minds as synonymous with inexplicable desertion. Even today, the fate of the Mary Celeste continues to fascinate. How could a well-built, seaworthy vessel be found adrift, abandoned without a single trace of its crew? What terror, real or imagined, could have caused a seasoned captain to flee into the ocean's vast unknown with his wife, child, and crew? We may never know. The Atlantic holds its secrets well, and the Mary Celeste remains one of its greatest.